Welcome back to Noah's Diary. Today I'm teaching him a cue for lie down. Now, the reason I'm teaching him that now is because Charlie, the donkey, has been teaching him to do it. So every time they play fight, Charlie goes and tries to grab his leg and then he just drops on the floor all the time. So I'm using a natural behaviour they're doing, and I just thought it'd be a great time to put a cue on it and then saves me having to teach him later. Now, I did this on Saturday in a clinic, and he actually lay down first go, which was really, really cool. But through the week, I've just been getting him to give me that same feeling. So, like, he lowers his head, and then I've been rewarding him for that and then leaving him. And then on the clinic on Saturday, he just lay right down, which was really cool. So, he's getting really confident. And obviously, in the stable, he is really confident, and I can go in and sort of like ask him to lie flat and things anyway. So, I've sort of been playing around with it. But today I thought I would ask him to lie down, give him the cue, and then see if I could do something a little bit more of a challenge, and that was to bring Echo in and see if I could get Echo to circle him. Now, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that Noah's been able to do that whilst stood up in next to the team horses. So he does understand that Echo goes around him and he doesn't have to join in. But it is quite a different thing when you're lying on the floor because you're suddenly in a slightly more vulnerable position. And for a stallion as well, it's quite a big ask. So I'm absolutely blown away by how good he is. This is the first time I've tried. This is the first clip on the video. I haven't edited anything out. He literally just did it first go. He's like, oh yeah, this is all good. It's all fine. And Echo is obviously looking at me going, can't I stay in here and eat this grass? So during the day, Noah goes in a different section of field so that he can have a little bit more grass. But Echo is like, do I really have to shuffle around on this circle? I could just eat the grass too. As they've been really good, I thought I'd ask Noah to lie flat whilst Echo was circling at higher energy at the trot. But as you can see, he's like, no, I want to see what he's doing. And obviously, I'm only putting my hand on him. He could easily just push my hand out the way and get up if he wants to, no problem at all. But as Echo stops up there, I just ask him to stop a little bit further away so he doesn't encroach on Noah's space. And then I thought it'd be fun, why not ask Echo to lie down next to him as well? Obviously, giving out the carrots. The ground is rock hard at the moment, so it's not actually that inviting either to lie down, which doesn't help. It would be nice if we had a nice soft spot, but they do lie down each day in the field in the sun anyway. So this time I ask Echo to go off again, and I'm just sitting next to Noah. I wanted Echo to go a bit higher energy this time, so to pick up the trot and just hold that circle a little bit more, just so that Noah has a bit more time to settle into the idea that when the other horses are going around, it doesn't involve him. Now you have to remember that, maybe he might become a competition horse, or he might go out and ride in other places. And it's really good for all young horses to learn that you don't have to do what the others are doing. So he can be okay, say he's in a warm-up arena and the other horses are cantering around. This exercise will help him. Obviously, I'm not saying we all have to teach them to do this, but it is a very good way that he will be absolutely fine in that arena with all the other horses cantering past him. Now, I don't know what you call this. I think this is like a kind of specialty move where you just wiggle around with their legs. He's part stallion, part Labrador. And as you can see, he's getting very, very confident. He's super confident with his body. After all that snoozing, I thought it was time we got a bit of a shuffle on. So I decided I'd introduce the bike to him. Now, I'm only going to be doing 5 or 10 minutes with him with this because the ground is so hard. I don't want him to trot around too much on the hard. But I thought it would be fun. So I cycle up to him fairly close, but not so close that I'm going to influence him. And as you can see here, what I'm really interested in is to see what his natural first reaction to something he hasn't seen before is. And you couldn't really ask for better. I mean, it's lovely when they're that confident and optimistic about something. So he just comes straight over, has a look, and that to me tells me my next approach. So if he snorted at it and ran the other way, then I might approach my next step slightly differently. But I just quietly here just think, okay, I'll cycle off as he's interested, and I'm just looking to see what he does. And this is exactly what I want him to do. So maybe in the future he'll be able to stick to the bike at liberty and follow me around. But at the moment, I just wanted to see what his first reaction was. And then I was going to go and put him on a head collar and get him to where he could then do it on the lead rope. Now, some of you might be thinking, when would you start to teach him to do some liberty? And we're a long way off that yet. I don't personally think that I'm going to be teaching him any liberty soon, because it sort of feels to me like it's the wrong thing to encourage a young stallion to chase me. I actually don't have any trouble in getting horses to like me and want to come with me, but I just feel like it's not a smart move for him to then turn that into a sort of chase me. It's very difficult for them to understand the difference when you're saying, I want you to follow me, but not like that. And he's at a stage in his life where he's going to have lots of changes. You know, he's a young colt, and then he's going to come a stallion, and then he'll be, you know, hopefully be able to be a breeding stallion and have mares. So he's got lots of different feelings and understandings of behaviour to go through yet. So I let him go through all of those first before we look at doing liberty. I think it's much better and safer for him to stay on the head collar and the rope, so that it's absolutely crystal clear as to how and the feeling I'd like to get from him. So I'm never asking him to chase me. So the next step is I've just put the bareback pad on, and that's like the fourth or fifth time he's had it on in total now, and I'm just chucking it on him every now and again for a few minutes when it suits, just because I think it's good for him just to get that idea in his head. He is only 3, so we're not in a hurry, but he might as well learn a few of these things as we go along. Luna, the Labrador, always wants to come with me. She is always by my side or thereabouts in a kind of stalker fashion. So she's taken her place in her sidecar. Now, the hardest bit is to get going, because obviously he doesn't know what it is that I want him to do, but he does know how to follow along being ridden and led. So when I've led him off Comet, he's getting good at, you know, he can stick alongside. Last time I went out was with the on the beach trip. So, and he was really lovely then. He could trot and canter alongside Comet. So I feel confident that it's not unreasonable what I'm asking him. He just doesn't know what it is exactly because he's not seen the bike before. So what I'm trying to do is to say to him, look, I don't want you to come in front of the bike, and I don't want you to come behind the bike, and that's why I'm using a stick, just to make sure that he doesn't accidentally climb over the bike or squash me or Luna. And then to keep him going there, he's just got to find that spot. He's got to basically twig that it's exactly the same as when he's stuck alongside Comet. So there he went off nicer. The first time he was just a bit dragging behind, and he's still a little bit dragging along behind because he wants to have a look at Luna, really, I think. And then after a little while, he was dragging behind. He then got a little bit too far in front. So it's a bit like finding that spot, isn't it? Hotter, hotter, colder, colder. He's gone, oh, I'm too far behind. No, that's not quite right. And then he went, oh, I'll go too far in front then. And I have to say, oh, no, that's not quite right either. So we just got to find that sweet spot. And now, as you can see, he's really starting to get it. A little bit too far in front again. And now he's starting to find it. I just trot around the field a little bit, do a few transitions to get him to stop. He's still swinging his bum out a little bit because the bike, actually, you can't hear it on the video because the wind was so bad. I had to take the sound off, but it makes quite a noise, and the ground where it's hard, it's bumpy, so it actually all rattles and bumps quite a lot. So when I stop, he swings his bum out to turn his head towards it a little bit, just spooking a little bit at it, but not too bad. Quite like him having a bit of distance between us. I don't want him to be too close. As I said, he isn't very friendly anyway, so getting him to be close to me isn't going to be a problem long term. So right now I'm just appreciative of that gap. But look, he's trotting beautifully now, really nicely. He's really going, oh, okay. And you can see the penny has dropped. He has gone, oh, it's just the same as next to Comet on the beach. Look, if you changed me on the bike to Comet and I together, it's exactly the same thing. So same exercise, just in a different way. Just to finish off, I thought as he was being so quiet, I thought I'd just ask him if I could lay over him. I haven't done this before, and as you can tell, I hadn't planned to do it at all, as I don't have a hat on. I only have a baseball cap, so I'm not doing anything dodgy. I'm not going to sit on him. I wouldn't dream of sitting on him for the first time in the middle of an open field. That would be crazy. So I just lay over him a couple of times, just because, you know, we're getting towards that point where I feel like I could just get on him and go for a ride, really. And I think that's a really nice feeling, you know, when you have a young horse and you just know that it's going to be fine to get on him. I think that's a really special time, and that will be coming up soon. We'll start to sit on him in the future.